Hey everybody, and welcome on back to Minecraft. Today is the day that we put our foot down. We stopped these pillagers. They completely destroyed our village, and it is just utter ruins, a fiery mess over here. And they have started putting their banners up all over the place to defend themselves and stake their claim to this area, and we are not gonna have it. We are going to be showing them that the force of papyrus over there is not something to be messed with. We are going to be building up an awesome defense in the non-existent village. We need to, first off, build the rest of our village over on this side, which I'm super excited for. It's going to be showing a contrast here of our ruined village to our not so ruined village, but I think first and foremost, because I got a lot of my storage on that side, and there's not a whole lot of stuff over here, we need to actually get that bridgeway built up here. I want to make it look a little broken up on that side and then more pristine and polished and cleaned up on this side. So we're going to see how that one goes. I'm super excited about this one. If you guys didn't catch the last episode, definitely be sure to go check that one out. That was so much fun, taking a look at what we could do with a village if the pillagers completely destroyed it. If pillagers had the ability to light blocks on fire, completely destroy and ruin things, and not just kind of wander around randomly like they do with their crossbows pointing at you from way over there and standing there. So we're going to kick this episode off today with a good old-fashioned time-lapse, figuring out what we can do with our bridge here. I got no ideas what it's going to look like. This is a big gap over the river here, so let's get to it. When building bridges in Minecraft, the most important thing here is to get the general shape and slope of the bridge down. So you can see us here doing this and really focusing on getting that general idea of what it's going to be looking like and getting the actual path where somebody's going to walk on it down here first. We brought in that sandstone line going across, basically measuring the width of it, and then we kind of sloped it out very, very loosely of a few blocks up here and there. And now we're over here with our oak slabs on it, completely covering the thing and working on detailing this bit. I really like this bridge design. It's a lot more along the basic side for sure. What I enjoy about this one here is as we start to add more details into it, towards the end of it, you can see a lot of the different types of sandstone in here that we've been talking about using previously. But outside of that, I want to make it more attached into the environment. Using this basically a Nile River atmosphere that we've been going with here for, I want to throw a bunch of vines on it, a bunch of leaves around it, and then adding a bunch of sugarcane along the edges to really nestle this one into the environment. And here we go, we got the bridgeway finished up. I think this one is pretty awesome. It's on the basic side, definitely more along the basic side than previously what we've been using. But this is, if you guys think about it, it's supposed to be for a village that's not supposed to be very well off. This village is not supposed to be super fancy. It's not supposed to be super like grand and amazing like we have in the city over there. This is supposed to be very, very basic. And one thing I want to hold true for that is when we're working on every single aspect of the village, we want to make sure that that theme is consistent. So it's okay that it's pretty bland and just kind of sandstone going across. We don't need anything too crazy on this one. So I like it. I wanted to go with a curve here so that we can have a bit of a area right there so we can get under with some boats and whatnot like that. So I think that'll work out. One thing while I was working on this though that I noticed that we don't have anywhere throughout here, I was looking at the savanna trees or the acacia trees, and I was like, those things are pretty cool, which I really like that one right there. For some reason, it's really cool. But we don't have any of our palm trees that we have built up everywhere else. If we take a quick flight back over to our city over here, in Papyrus, you can see, especially right here from when we're looking at everything, we can fly on down. We got palm trees everywhere. These things are a core element of everything we're doing, and I don't want to have them just limited inside of our city wall. I wanted to start expanding them out to being in the region and along the waterways. So I think what I'm going to work on next is, first and foremost, I need to figure out what we're going to be doing to get this thing built out. And I love this narrowed out, or this hollowed out area here. I didn't clear this. This was naturally dug out right here. And I'm thinking we could almost expand this up even more right here and bring in like a sunken down area so we can drop this down again another block from where it even is right now. Create a bit of a stone or a wall with our sandstone right here, just kind of like this. And then we can create some sort of a entranceway so we can bring some water in here, get some water dropping down into this area, and then we can turn this whole lower area here into a lush farmland with a bunch of different crop types, which I think is super cool. But I got to get this whole area here planned out, got to figure out where we're going to be throwing around all these trees, which I'm going to be for now just signifying with a stack of 3 tall bushes using our oak leaves, and we'll see where it's going from there. The most important part of this build here to really sell it well is going to be creating this small village atmosphere that we have going on here. So we have the farmland region, which we're actually going to be finishing up in this clip here. Then we're also, you can see, bringing in a bunch of house designs and shapes for where they're going to be laying out. And the part that I love about this one is that we see that little cul-de-sac area there in between the 4 houses that create that U shape, and then we have the farmland to the top. That's going to give us a great area here for where we can have a lot of things going on in the village as a central gathering point. I did come in here afterwards and add in a few more areas where we can say, like, throw in more of those windmill designs that we had on the other side, because we want to keep that consistent throughout here as well. And then filling up this area here as it being very lush, we have every single type of crop that you could absolutely imagine, and it's great. As I had mentioned, we were going to be bringing a little bit of a village center into this area here, and this is kind of what I was thinking. We haven't added any of the detail in here quite yet, besides getting the house fixtures up here so we kind of have that general scale of what they're going to look like. Then we got this guy over here, which is basically just holding up the tarp and all that. And then this is over here being another little bit of a tarp covering over the area. I know it's using the wood, but I want to use the trapdoors there instead of just using carpet everywhere, because I felt like that was pretty boring. This area down here now is fully grown up, mostly. Some of the wheat is still grown up, and it's looking really sweet. I love the acacia tree that we got in there as well. It's awesome. I'm really happy with this plan so far. I've taken the time to start cutting out a few of our base structures in here and getting some of the general ones in here and shaped out so we can get a bit more of a finished product along this one. Well, a few things I would say is pretty important here is that you can see, like, we have these buildings merging into one another, but I went with different heights. It's only a 1 block height variation, but you can pretty clearly tell that those are 2 different structures, which is helping sell this whole idea of this area just kind of being its own thing, or being its own village, a bunch of little houses crammed in here together. I do want to get 1, 2, and 3 windmills planted in this one, which is basically going to be the same exact design we did in the last episode. So if you missed that one, be sure to check it out. I don't think we'll show building those ones twice here. I'm probably going to go ahead and get those ones in right now. The pillagers are attacking. They're attacking the village. We're going to get rid of them. They came out of nowhere. I came back over here to get some supplies, and they are chasing me all over the place, trying to steal all my stuff. And they are trying to get onto the side of the river. You guys are not allowed over here. This is off limits. Please don't give me the debuff. And we got the debuff. And there's villagers over there. Do not start the raid. We got to go find a bucket. We got to go find a cow. Now that we have a nice milkshake in hand, we can take a look at everything that we've been working on over here. It is starting to feel a lot more completed up in this area, and I'm really happy with it. Basically all I've done, though, is brought in 3 more of our windmill designs, which I think these are so cool. I finally found where I got the inspiration for them. I cannot remember in the last episode where I saw this design originally and kind of tweaked it a little bit here, but this one is actually a design from my Patreon server. Way long ago when I did some tours there, I was scrolling back through the screenshots just randomly a few nights ago, and was like, huh, and they're back. They're invading everywhere. But anyways, somebody on the Patreon server had come up with that one originally, and I tweaked it a little bit to fit our style here a bit better. But I think it fits in really well. I think it's really awesome. I changed the base of it a lot so it fits in here previously, and then I also changed the top of it to feel more deserty, whereas theirs was kind of more of like a Mediterranean-y style windmill. But anyways, that one's all set up here. I'm getting the last things done on the rest of the village houses here, and then it's finally time to detail and build some trees. I am very excited to say that all of the houses are built up. We've still got to detail out quite a few things in this new region that we're working on here. It's kind of boring as we go throughout it. Like, we need to get some coarse dirt coming through here and filling in a pathway going over to there. Maybe some dead bushes and some crates and things, and a few more awnings and the works to bring in some color in here. Because over on the other side, if you look over, and we can't see it because the bridge is in the way, but if we look over right there, we got a little bit of the light blue and the blue going in there, and I think that works really well. And I think with the savanna colors of everything and having grass over there, it works a lot better as well. Because right now, this is all sandstone with sand. That's basically everything we got going over here, besides the road and a few little patches of the grassy stuff that we got thrown around here. This house over here, though, real quick, while we're over at it, I made this one a second story. So the first story is basically this right in here for now. There's not a whole lot going in there besides some sandstone that I need because we were running dangerously low. Then if you loop all the way around the back here, you can get up to the second floor where you can have this little nice balcony area. Then it comes into a very spacious, homely abode in there, which is just awesome. I think next thing we're going to work on before we start adding the minor details is another major detail, being the trees. I don't have any jungle wood on me right now, jungle fences or anything like that, so let me grab those things and we'll get to work on one of these because we haven't built it for a long time And I think it'd be kind of fun to build one of these together, and then we'll just finish up the rest of them. You know, it's one of those things where I definitely thought I had a lot of jungle leaves, but we don't have any. So let's see if this old trick still works. We do that, and then we just spam this guy right here and see if we can't use a bunch of the... And we're... Hey! It kind of worked! We're up on top of the tree! Time to get a bunch of leaves. With plenty more leaves here in the belly, it's time to figure out if we can remember how to build one of these trees. I really have no idea. So we're going to go up here 2, 3, 4, and 5. I want to bring you guys along for this whole one here because I think it'd be worthwhile to show. So we're going to go 5 on the first one. Then we can bring up 1, 2, 3, and 4 right here on the second one. Now I'm thinking on this one, we're going to curve it back this way a little bit and bring ourselves up here going 3 blocks. And then what we can do here, I think we want to bring these in about a block down. And these basically you can change out for being fences or putting like some cocoa beans up here to make it look like some coconuts, which could kind of work here as well. And then we want to do this little bit of a top format bit right there, which might be easier if we get on the ground and fly all the way back up. These trees are kind of harder to build because we want to make them droop down, so it requires a lot of getting up on top of the tree and then back down below the tree. So what we can do here though is basically bring these guys all the way like that. That helps to create a bit of a box shape. And then we want to start extending these things out a few blocks further. So we're going to go 3, and then it will go like this. And then up here, I like to kind of just make it a little bit more floofy there up on the top. And bringing out some scaffolding. That's probably really going to help us out here, is because this looks a little lame right now. There's not a whole lot going on with it, and it feels not that great. Let's go with that. So we're going to bring you down like there. And this is kind of where we just make these up as we go. And then I'm thinking we could probably get around right out over here and see if we can't get another leaf placed off on that guy. And then bring that one down a bit. And then if we take a glimpse back here from this side at the tree, it's starting to look palm tree-ish. This area is starting to look palm tree-ish. And then if we take a look from across the river, that's why we don't leave the tops alone. And yeah, so that's kind of, I think, what we're going to be doing with this one. Can't we place that? Oh, you can waterlog these. Wow, that's kind of cool. Did not think you could waterlog them at all. Okay, so then if we come all the way up here and see if we can remember how to use scaffolding correctly. I really don't like actually building with scaffolding. I'm not going to lie. It really bothers me. I don't enjoy it at all. Anyways, so let's take this guy out here. We do that, and then we can take this one right here and go down a block. I think it's because we can't crouch. I think it's because I can't crouch on scaffolding, so you can just walk right off the edge. There's no way to lock yourself in place here. And what I want to do here is get it like on the side of that block, but that is not going to happen. So let's go 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. And okay, I see why scaffolding is kind of useful. So we want to do that, and then we can go like these 2 blocks right up there, and then we can keep going 1, 2, 3, and just make a bed of scaffolding. All right, fine. I see why it's useful. I see why it's useful. And then we can go this way, and see, it sucks. It's awful, completely terrible. All right, let's go back up on top of this one and see what we can get up here with the tree. I think this is finally starting to get finished up, though. We just kind of have this weird bare section, and that's the edge of where we can go. Okay, good to know. And I'm thinking right here, we could probably bring you, we're going to bring some leaves up here so we can start some fresh scaffolding bits. And then we could do something like this. Oh, if you crouch, oh, wow, you can stay up here. Look at that. And can we not fall off? Oh, look at that. Oh, perfect. Okay, now I know how to use scaffolding. I guess I should have made some... I guess I should have used it before making some crazy claims that it sucks, huh? Okay, we're going to go with that. I think we're going to do that guy right there. And I think if we can get rid of the scaffolding... Okay, so if you have it multiple stacked up. Got it. I know. Now I'm basically just saying okay constantly. Let's get all of this stuff up and take a look at it. Now, this was never meant to be a tree design that looked great alone. I think that could probably be brought in like another leaf block right there almost and help round it out. But this one was something that was meant to look good in groups and bunches and kind of multiple ones here together. And I think it's got a good start to it. I think this actually has a really good start to it so far. I like this one. From all of the angles, it looks good except for this patch right here. That's something I can fix up here. But you know what? I think we're going to get the rest of them in, and it's time-lapse time. One thing I totally forgot to mention while we were building up the trees originally was that I like to add vines all over these trees to really make them feel a lot more lush and attached into the environment, and just along with that Nile river atmosphere that we've been talking about this whole time over here. And oh my gosh, these palm trees make this area look so much more completed. And I've been looking at this little bend in the river over there where there's that grassy patch, and I really want to terraform that out. So I might do that as a little added bit before the end of the video here. But for the rest of today's video though, we got a few more things to do around the actual completed village. First and foremost, I decided to go back to the storage room and mess around and see what blocks I could find and use. And we have our endstone. Endstone is one of those blocks that in Minecraft by default, it's so close to being the same texture, or the same color palette, the same color palette as like sandstone and sand and all those things. So I went in and tweaked it to make it look more like a cobblestone, like an endstone being a cobblestone texture. I think it looks great. So what I came in here is make it look like a cobbled area where they basically took the sandstone and reinforced the ground and have that everywhere, which I think is awesome. So we got this back area here where we can throw a few things in, and we got a few more things around the area where we can add a bunch of stuff. And I've been bringing in I've been gathering up a lot of resources in here. So we got a bunch of note blocks, barrels, chests, some grindstones, crafting tables, and the works. And I figured it'd be kind of fun to come in here and just detail out the area a little bit, make it look a lot more like people live here. So we can do a few of those guys, and I'm thinking we can maybe throw like a grindstone in here. Does that, ooh, the fences don't connect to that. That is great. And then we can do like some barrels and just get a few things in here, making it look like people actually live here. Making it look like there's something going on in this area and not just a bunch of just random structures around this area, and it's actually like people are living here. That's kind of the goal. So I'm just going to add a few of these things around here, and that should help to finish off this area and make it a lot more clean cut. And one thing I do want to be adding a bunch of in here is we can take like this guy right up here, and then we can do like this right there. And then let's do like another banner or another corner right over here. And then we can do like this. And that's not where I want you. Something right like in there. And I think we can come from the other side real quick. Yeah, perfect. So this makes like a slightly off-shaped square structure. And I wanted to bring in a bunch of our carpet throughout here and make like a covered area back here, so we can have a workstation where people are just trying to get out of the sun a bit. I guess we're going to go with the idea there. And something like this, just so we can have workstations in here where people are out of the sun, and I think that'd look really, really sweet. So I'm going to keep kind of working on adding these bits around here, bringing in a lot more like details like this, just so we can have some storage. And then I don't know why I'm throwing grindstones in, but I feel like that's the best way to make it look like there's actual stuff going on here. I don't really know, but we're doing that. And I like the sugarcane just kind of being random. The sugarcane is very random around this entire area. There's not really rhyme or reason. And now that I'm looking at it, that we're in nighttime here, there's not really any torches on the outside of these structures either. And I didn't want to be using any lanterns here because this village is supposed to be very basic. We're not supposed to really be too fancy schmancy over here. So I figured torches are probably the way to go to light this one up. Adding in our last final bit of detail right here, I want to just throw in one more of these guys. So I was thinking we could just do something right here and kind of get rid of that, and maybe just do something like, it's going to be very, very tight in this one. I just want to do some very, very small thing right over here just to get a bit more of that blue color in here, because I've been adding in a bunch of things around the area. Brought in a few of our banners over here from Papyrus itself, which I think are looking absolutely awesome. One thing we haven't really touched on so far in today's episode though is how are we going to deal with like pillager raids? Like they're attacking, they took over this side of the village. How are we going to stop them? How are we going to stop them? All we have here is a little bridge, and I'm trying to grab 2 note blocks real fast, but all we have here is this bridge. There's not a whole lot we can do to really protect this guy without just kind of blowing it up or blocking it off. So I think we're going to go with the route of blocking it off, because it would kind of suck to blow this thing up. So what we're going to be doing up here is I have a few things in my inventory that we can kind of leverage. Those being some trapdoors and some doors and some fences. I was thinking it'd be kind of cool to basically come in here and create a bit of like a barricade. Something that would look like they're trying to barricade this area out and making it look very rambled together, not something too sturdy. They're basically just trying to use what they have in hand to stop the pillagers from getting over here. So we can block this thing off right here, and then maybe they need like a gate so they can get through themselves. So maybe we could come over here, throw in a door right like that, and then we have that doorway to get through here. What would it look like if we did another door just right here in general? That's kind of okay. I like that. I think that's kind of cool. So we have this one set up here, so it's kind of blocking everything off. And then because the pillagers here have their crossbows and everything, we do want to add a bit of protection for above. So anybody who's like sitting here behind the barricade, they kind of have a bit of a defense that they can use to protect themselves here. And we have all this kind of ready to go. They can maybe get some arrow slots where they can shoot out of from here and over there. But the pillagers could come all the way over there and kind of shoot at you. So we need to add some way of kind of blocking it. You can hide behind this area here and defend yourself from the different sides. And I'm thinking, Mr. Torchy, I'm sorry, but you gotta go. And we could do something just like here. This is very just much thrown together. There's not a whole lot of rhyme or reason behind this thing. But I felt like this would add a good aspect into our area of something, make it look like they're trying to defend. They're trying to stop the pillagers, because this hopefully here would just stop them unless they bring over their vindicators who would be destroying all the doors. But I think that's pretty good. Taking a flight up in the sky, we can come down and look at this place. Look what we have done over 2 episodes. This used to be a default Acacia Minecraft village, which I just think is so funny. In 2 episodes, we were able to completely transform this thing, and I absolutely love it now. So I hope you all enjoyed today's episode, but unfortunately, that is going to have to do it. I am way out of time for this one. Please hit that like button if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you are new. And next episode, we are going to be coming down here and taking a look at what the heck we can do with this fossil. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side.